For years, Marilyn Manson, born Brian Hugh Warner in 1969, stood as a symbol of rebellion and shock, captivating and horrifying audiences with his unsettling image and provocative music. Emerging from modest beginnings, he created a persona that defied societal norms, grotesque, theatrical, and intentionally offensive, thriving on the discomfort he generated. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, he was both idolized and demonized, hailed by disaffected youth as a voice of the misunderstood, and blamed by media and politicians for corrupting the moral fabric of society. Nowhere was this more evident than after the Columbine High School tragedy, where Manson was unfairly scapegoated despite having no link to the event. While his public persona fed off controversy, the real toll of infamy began to show behind the scenes. Interviews became more unpredictable, and reports of personal struggles, including substance abuse and growing isolation, hinted at a man unraveling beneath the surface. As time passed, the shock factor that once defined him began to fade, and, though Manson continued to produce music and occasionally act, his relevance dimmed. Then, in 2021, the carefully constructed persona began to collapse entirely. Multiple women, including actress Evan Rachel Wood, came forward with disturbing allegations of emotional, physical, and psychological abuse. The man who had long portrayed darkness as art was now accused of living out that darkness in reality. The industry reacted swiftly. His record label dropped him. Projects were canceled, and former friends and collaborators distanced themselves. Unlike the controversies of his past, this wasn't about provocative lyrics or shocking performances. This was a reckoning. Manson denied the allegations, claiming they were distortions of the truth, but the backlash was swift and relentless. Since then, he has largely vanished from public life. No new music has emerged, no interviews have surfaced, and his once commanding presence has gone silent. The icon who once dominated headlines with his theatrical chaos is now the subject of quieter, more unsettling speculation. What truly happened to Marilyn Manson is more than the downfall of a controversial artist. It reflects the price of living too long behind a mask and the consequences of wielding darkness irresponsibly. His story is a cautionary tale about fame, power, and the thin line between performance and reality. Whether remembered as a misunderstood genius or a deeply troubled figure hiding behind spectacle, Manson's legacy remains stained by serious accusations and unanswered questions. The character the world once knew, terrifying, captivating, and larger than life, no longer exists. What remains is the silence of a man who once screamed into the void and was finally met with a different kind of noise, accountability, and, as that silence stretches on, the final chapter of Marilyn Manson's story feels uncertain, unresolved, and as haunting as the persona he once so proudly wore.